Hey, everybody. Welcome to the No Spring Chicken with April Walterscheid podcast. I am the April Walterscheid. I am one of three April Walterscheids. There are a couple in Texas. Can you believe it? My name is not a common name, but there's two people in the world with that name. That's crazy. I've never met them. I think they married into the family. I would say I might be an original April Walterscheid. But yeah, welcome to the podcast. And please subscribe right now. Hit that subscribe button. And why this podcast? Well, my manager, Tony, noticed that I was posting in my Instagram stories and just, maybe 50 to like 800 people would see it, just depending on the day. And depending on if I posted a Cardi B impression or not. That determines how many views I get in my stories. But yeah, he was like, hey, you should just have a podcast where you talk about everything in your stories and only reserve your stories for like comedy show announcements and whatever else. Sign up for my email list, that sort of thing, which you can sign up for on aprilwalterscheid.com. Today's episode is brought to you by, I don't have a sponsor, so just want to put that in there because I feel like I need to say that. It's brought to you by bobby pins. I'm using them to keep my bangs down. Thank you, bobby pins, for sponsoring this podcast, and you don't even know it. I think it's like me saying this podcast is sponsored by paper clips. I just said a product. I'm just like, hey, this podcast is sponsored by walls that hold up your apartment. Thank you, walls. This podcast is brought to you by boundaries. Do you have them? We'll get some with boundaries. Healthy boundaries, not made up ones that are stupid. But like, let me give you an example of a stupid boundary really quick. I read this online. I made it a joke of mine, but I read it online that there was a girl who had like, I may have mentioned this on the podcast. Okay, a girl has a dog and she's on a dating app and she has photos of herself with her dog on the dating app. And there's a guy that wanted her to give up her dog for him. He just said hi to her. They have never met. He's just on the dating app, like, hi, well, let's get together sometime. And she said yes. And then she wasn't able to, like, that week. And he's like, you have a dog that you've known for 10 years? Well, that breaks my boundaries. You are upsetting my boundaries. So that's an example of a stupid boundary. Don't do that. Don't do that. I was going to make a boba tea, a homemade boba tea for this podcast, just to like drink it in front of you guys, just to like be cool. I've had the boba tea life since 2010 when I first got my car. It was a 2006 Silver Beetle diesel, polluting the air. I have a regular car, a regular gas car, but yeah, a 2006 Silver Beetle that I inherited from my mom who didn't want to make the payments anymore. She wanted a different car. She's like, take over my $500 a month payments. I'm like, Mom, we got to get this down. Refinance. I am not paying. I'm 250 tops for a payment. That was also the first car I got into an accident with, and oh, it made me so sad. Let's talk about my first car accident. This wasn't on the list today. I do keep track of what I want to talk about on a Google Docs on my laptop. My laptop's over here. Yeah, let's talk about my first accident, my car accident. Yeah, let's do it. Let's freaking do it. How old was I? 26? About to turn 27. It was 2012 and I was having a sad day. I went to a yogurt shop to cry and journal. I do that now still, but I haven't cried in a while. I don't cry as much. I don't know. It's probably just being in my late 30s. I'm 40, but like, anyways, I went to a yogurt shop in near my parents' neighborhood to cry and journal and just wondering how I can stop working at PayPal. How do I stop working at the call center at PayPal? And I was going through I went past Poston Junior High School where I went to junior high. Was This is in Mesa, Arizona. Pulling out, uh, not pulling out, but pulling in. No, pulling into the neighborhood that my parents live in. It's like 8th Street and Gilbert Road. I was on 8th Street, which is like a small neighborhood road. I was at the stoplight, and there was a guy coming. Like, I'm going this way. There's a guy coming this way. I'm waiting for him to clear so I can like make a left because I'm gonna go out onto Gilbert Road and like go home a different way or something. I don't know what I was doing. I probably had other plans that day. And then there was a guy in a rental car. I later found out, and he was high, just going through the intersection, and he hit like the corner of my car, and I got like glass in my head. There's glass in my hand. It was just a mess. If you imagine any scene, it reminded me of Twister when they're like in the Twister and it's just stuff going everywhere. It was like that. And yeah, that was fun. The car that I was waiting to like clear the intersection flipped out. He had just paid off his car. We went to dinner with him later on, but my parents like wanted to have dinner with him. And anyways, his car flipped over my car. And then yeah, that was a car accident. I survived and I saw the guy who hit us. The guy who caused it all. He got out of his car. Like the whole front was smashed in. Like the whole front was smashed to like the cage slash body of the car. And he got out like this. This is my impression of him. He got out of the car. He looked at the front. And he was just like, "Oh man, what? Whoa, tubular." So I think he was high. It was a rental car, and I don't know where he was from. My parents arrived, and they're like across the street on the corner. They're like, "April, oh my gosh." I mean, they should be. And then my dad later told me he wanted to go to dinner with the guy going this way or the guy that I was waiting to clear the intersection because he wanted to thank him for like being a buffer so that that guy didn't like directly hit my car. He more like hit that guy's car into my car. And my dad's like super, not super into God, but he's really kind of religious. And I grew up Catholic with him. I mean, not like not, we didn't like grow up together, but he went to Catholic school as a kid and we just went to I was a Catholic church when I was a kid. But he was like, April, I think an angel was looking out for you that day because that guy's car was in the way. I go, Dad, if that guy's car, the truck that got hit into mine, if he wasn't there at all, I could have cleared the intersection. That guy who went through the intersection just would have hit someone else. And my dad doesn't see it that way. It's funny. I'm like, yeah, I mean, he's the reason I couldn't turn sooner. Like, if I had turned sooner, there wouldn't be an accident. But I think let that guy hit someone else. Honestly, the guy on drugs, go hit someone else. I hope he gets home safe. I hope he gets to what store is on that street, Sprouts, safely. Sprouts is in Phoenix, Arizona, by the way. I didn't know that. The headquarters of Sprouts, I thought, was in Texas. It's in Phoenix. Did you guys know I go to Sprouts just to feel like I'm back home? Some Sprouts look like the one on Gilbert Road and Brown Road in Mesa, Arizona, like the inside of the Sprouts. Because every Sprouts is like slightly different setup. I think the one on I just went to a Sprouts and it reminded me of back home. Which one did I go to? Some sort of Sprouts reminded me of back home recently. Where did I? Anyways, there's so many Sprouts in LA. I don't remember. Wasn't the one on Westwood, not the one on La Brea. La Brea. La Brea. Is that how you say La Brea? La Brea. There's a. When I first moved to LA, I noticed on La Brea there was a bread store on La Brea called La Brea Bread Bakery. And I'm like, just call it La Bread. I just can't get over that. They need to really utilize the street name La Bread. La Braid. Just La Braid Bakery. Why? Just do it. Do it. Rename your store to that. I think it's like 6th Street in La Brea. Okay. Hey guys, I'm scared I'll never live alone again. Have you seen the prices of an apartment? I remember living in Mesa, Arizona, and it was like $560 a month for a one bedroom, one bathroom duplex with a driveway, and you get like a yard, and you get maybe a meth neighbor like right over here, but not in the duplex next to you, but maybe across the carport, there's a meth head living there, and she's probably selling drugs, and she's scary. But other than that, yeah, I miss living alone because I want to decorate my own place, and I'm just scared. Um, I've actually so when I first moved into my own duplex, I was almost had a roommate. I almost roommated with a girl from high school who had 2 kids. That would have been a disaster. I don't want to. I mean, I almost moved in with a woman with 2 kids. And then my friend Mandy had a duplex available in Mesa, Arizona, and that this was like 2014. She had a place ready that she was like cleaning up from a previous tenant, and it was like the stove works, everything's great, and the fridge, and I cleaned it even more, and I got to decorate it how I wanted, and that was the best experience. I didn't think I would live alone in my 20s, you know. I thought that was like, oh, maybe in my 30s. I mean, I did live alone in my 30s for part of it until about 35. Lived alone from like 28 to 33, and then yeah, 34 to 35 lived alone. Wow. Yeah, I didn't think it's weird. Is it okay to like be 40 and have roommates? I had heard about this in my 30s, like older people having roommates in LA. I'm so close to living alone though. I know I can do it. I'm conflicted also on having boundaries. It seems like having boundaries makes you less popular. I know that this whole podcast is sponsored by boundaries, healthy boundaries, but boundaries are weird because I don't feel as fun. It's either my age, I don't feel as fun, or it's the boundaries, or it's like I remember people used to want to steal my dopamine a lot. They used to be like, she has so much dopamine and it's natural. It's not drug induced. And let me just hang out with April and like steal her energy. And I'm realizing that now, like I didn't know at the time, but I read somewhere online, like on an Instagram post or a YouTube video, that people try to steal your dopamine when they want to like hang out with you. Like you've got, or you're just like new at something, or you're like really, you discovered a new career choice and you're like going after it. And people are like, whoa, that person's new at this. And they got so much motivation. Look at them. Motivation is dopamine, I think. It's when you're going after something that's dopamine related. I miss people taking random photos with me just in the Phoenix film community. I think those people are just trying to make friends and network, but I miss stuff like that. I don't, I haven't seen a lot of my roommates for a couple weeks because they're problematic. So they're scary people. So like today I went out and today I got to check on a kitty cat in Bel Air, and she's easy to check on. But I like to make sure that like when I'm doing these like rover cat sitting or cat drop in things, that their house is secure, the alarm's on, and like the gates closed, and I just obsessively like make sure everything's locked. And I don't know, there's something about Bel Air where like have you seen, this is it's probably an Arizona thing, maybe like a South, like maybe a Torrance thing, but there'll be these like Bel Air reminds me of these neighborhoods where the 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 street's really small. Like you're on a major street, but then you go in, the street's really small, and it's just like this really like the houses are too close. In Bel Air, the houses aren't necessarily too close, maybe a little bit, but like one of my friends, Michelle, lived in a neighborhood in Arizona in Mesa where like you turn into the neighborhood, it's just smaller streets. The houses are closer together. They have small yards. I don't know what that's called. It's not a duplex. It's like a tinier version of a subdivision because all the houses kind of look stamped out. But yeah, Bel Air reminds me of like a bigger version of that. Like the streets are kind of small. I just can't get over that when I get to Bel Air, the gate, it's still like 5 miles to get to the house I need to get to. I just can't get over that. I don't know. That part was keeping me up at night for the past couple of days. I'm like, okay, I have to do this drop in. I have to drop in on this cat for the next week, and I can't get over like how if I turn a corner, I might be hitting like a dump truck or whatever truck is in the neighborhood at the time. Everything's just too close. It's like that's the part that was keeping me up at night. Is just driving into it, and I have to do it again today. I have to do it twice a day. And then tomorrow, oh, I'm dog sitting tomorrow for a YouTuber that I've seen and that I like her videos. I'm I'm not gonna say who it is, but she does like content on millennials. And I got the request on Rover. Of course, I can't really see her picture. I can just see like her dog. She has a picture, but it's just I can't see it that well. Um, but I went to go meet her a few days ago, and I remember her opening the door, and I was like, in my mind, I'm like, I've seen you on YouTube. I watch your videos, but I didn't say anything. I was just like, hey, I'm April. And then I saw her dogs, and I just focused on the dogs, and kind of forgot she was on YouTube at all. And the thing about YouTubers is like just because I watch her YouTube videos doesn't mean you do. It doesn't mean that her videos pop up. It's like whatever I search for, like whatever you search for on YouTube or wherever you watch, you're gonna see more of that content. So you probably don't get millennial content at all. And I thought the whole time, actually, I was at her house. Which is, I guess, a rental. I thought she owned it. She just it's a rental. So I guess, should I be a YouTuber? I don't know. Um, I was looking for like a room where she films her, like a millennial room, like a room decked out in like early 2000s Britney Spears posters and Blink 182 and whatever posters, YM magazines and flip phones. And I thought she was the creator who does that, but she's not. There's another YouTuber who does millennial content, and that's what she does. She has like a whole room decked out as a 2000s room. I thought that was her. So I'm like going around her house and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, she's giving me a tour of the house. And I'm like, where is that room? Am I going to run into it? Am I going to be like that would be a segue to be like, oh, I've seen your videos. That would have been like a good time to bring it up, but I just never brought it up. I don't know if I'll ever bring it up that I watch her videos. I mean, I'm sure it's nice to hear, but I feel now I think of her as just a person who needs someone to watch her pets. Like she has a couple cats as well. So two cats, two dogs, and now I just see her as a person that needs someone because she's going out of town. Like that's my association with her now. I'm still probably gonna watch her videos. Yeah, I was talking about boundaries. Okay, so boundaries are tough because blah blah blah. I don't feel like I have as many friends. Like my boundaries are so boundarific that my only friends are dogs and cats. I also noticed that guys don't want me for sex anymore. Like I don't think they ever did. On like my whole life, I've never gone to the first indication. I think there was a time in my life where I was like guys wanted me for that. Probably like 22 to like 32, maybe. No, maybe 22 to like 25. I gotta be honest. Oh no, I have it on my notes here. Around 24. Probably 22 though. That's around the time I got my first boyfriend. But I don't think guys have ever really wanted me because, like, I don't really care about this, but sometimes I think about it. Um, I've never gone to any school dances. Never been to prom. Never been to. I think a lot of people. Have you never been to prom either? I need more comments on this video. Let me know if you've been to prom or homecoming or what's a dance. I don't know what a dance is. Is it a waste of money? That's what I've heard. But would have been nice to be like asked to go. Like guys have never asked me for anything. Guys never asked me out. But I did get, I've had at least two boyfriends in my life. That's amazing. I can't, they want to date this. Ugh. But now I've noticed around like 31, guys started wanting me for my money. And I have no money. So joke's on you. But I did have my own duplex. We were talking about that earlier. I had my own duplex. And I remember specifically one boyfriend wanted to, we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend yet, but we were just seeing each other for like a month or two. And suddenly he's like, I want to move in. And looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, he wanted to get out of his, I have a calendar event coming up. Let me take that off. He just wanted to get out of his mom's living room because he was living there. I was just being used for my duplex, which is basically for money. I mean, I'm reading my notes on my computer if you're wondering. I know guys like always want you for something. For me, it's actually pretty nice. They don't want me for anything. It is very nice. People like it used to be that guys would call say I'm funny to like I don't know, get something from me, probably sex, I don't know. But now they just don't say anything, and that's when I know I'm truly funny. Actually, if a guy tries to bring me down, if a guy leaves a mean comment, that's when I know I'm truly funny. I'm like, "Oh, they're just jealous." Okay. Yeah, I don't think guys want to be there to help you with your career or dreams unless you're hot. Very opportunistic. And I'm that way as well, kind of Machiavellian a little bit. Um, there was this show, not called Chopped, but oh, that's a cooking show. A show like Chopped, but it's like a murder show. Hacked? No, something like that. What's the murder show? I just forgot. Did I make a note about it? I think I would have. There was this like show where they talk about women murderers, and I've noticed that a lot of the episodes were just a woman doing something that a guy told her to do. He's like, traffic these kids for me, like lure these kids into a van for me. And then she doesn't want to do it anymore, so she ends up killing him, or instead of just prosecuting him, or something like that. And guys use women for weird things. Either use you for your money or your duplex, or they use you to traffic kids. Just making sure I covered the trafficking kids part. Oh, I also grew up with guys that just talk too much, like my dad. I'm just, I think I'm such a good listener because of my dad, but that just lets people, that's why I have boundaries because people just walk all over me. Like people, my roommates will dump on me for an hour if I let them. And once you're in it, once, like what I'm doing to you guys right now, once you're in it, it's hard to get out of, but you guys can just like leave whenever you want. It's hard when someone's actually talking to you face to face and like dumping on you and it's like, "Oh, how did I get in here? I need to leave." But yeah, my dad talked too much when I was a kid, and he still does. I'm 40. He still talks too much. He still dumps on me. Doesn't dump on me as much as when I was younger. But yeah, I think I associate guys with just talking too much. I'm like, oh, guys talk way too much, especially on dates, just in general. They don't shut up. If there's ever a quiet guy, I'm like shocked. I'm like, whoa, so rare. But yeah, I haven't dated in over a decade, so I'm actually one of the first people. I was, I made a note. I'm one of the first people who like just gave up on dating like around 2010. I did have a boyfriend briefly, the one who tried to move. I think he's a fake boyfriend. He tried to move in with me for my duplex to get out of his mom's living room. And my duplex is so rad. It looked like Tim Burton's Tim Burton art, but like pastel and like gingerbready, and it's pretty cool. Like, who wouldn't want to live there? I want to live there. I live there. I decorated it that way. But yeah, I think I'm one of the first people to just not care about dating and realize it's a waste of time. And now like everyone's doing it. And I'm just like, my hair's not down right now, but I just want to do a hair flip. Like, ugh, copying me. I put my hair up today because you don't need to know why, but I think I need a haircut. I usually just do like a French braid, but I'm trying a different look. I'm trying the this is millennial slash Gen X look. Sorry, Gen X isn't cool. Okay, millennial. Gen Z's not even cool. I mean, they're okay. They're Gen Z is called Zoomers, and it just reminds me of Boomers. Maybe they're the next Boomers, but not in the I own a lot of property sort of way, and I'm hoarding it from everyone else. Not in that way. Also, sometimes if I just want a lot of attention, and I'm not getting it. I'll just like Google, hey, if people don't notice you, it means you're a 10, right? And Google's always like, yep, you're a 10. I notice if I look like today, if I were to go out and like wear like a t-shirt or I don't know, maybe like that, that green hoodie I usually wear. And like, if you look at episode 1, the green hoodie, if I just kind of look disheveled a little bit, guys talk to me. And then if I look like my makeup's done and like I'm wearing like these horseshoe pants that are like $700 that I did not buy, someone gave me, and it was a woman. So I don't have a sugar daddy, and she's straight. If I go out in that, no one talks to me. So yeah, I think if like this is just for people who this episode is for the people who aren't sure about if they look good, and it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't it does none of this matters. None of what I'm talking about matters. But if you feel like you're not having a good day where you look good, if people aren't talking to you, you are a 10. Don't even worry about it. That is so not my personality going like, you are a 10. Don't worry. That is not me. Oh, I saw, I don't know if I mentioned this in episode 1. I, I read an old journal I had after like a breakup in 2010, and it's a cool journal. The cover is really cool. It's got like a doodle of fashionista on it or something. And I realized I don't like guys because of how my dad talked too much and he's a drama queen and stresses everyone out. He stresses everyone out in our family by wanting our lives to revolve around him for the past 40 years of my life. And we never get to breathe. So I was journaling a lot about that and like writing song lyrics. I used to write my song lyrics in the back. Like I had journal about my ex and my dad, the ex who cheated on me, and my dad. And then in the back, but like upside down, I wrote like a lot of lyrics. Never had any music to it. One of them I did, but yeah, a lot of lyrics, page after page of just lyrics about a similar thing in a metaphor. Similar topics, just about my dad, but in a metaphor. And if you, in case you, I repeat stuff in case you didn't understand what I was saying. If you still don't understand what I'm saying, subscribe. That'll take care of that. I was talking about last week how I was watching old SNL auditions for the show Saturday Night Live. I was watching like and just the people who are on there now and like my friends on there, and they're just so incoherent. And I used to be more incoherent, and I wish I could go back to that because at some point In 2022, I started up therapy again, and my life got a lot less fun. Not in a kind of in a I miss it sort of way. I kind of miss like not making sense. But now I'm so obsessed with everything making sense that I'm worried about being perfect and making sense while I talk. Like while I'm doing this podcast, I'm like, I gotta make sense. I gotta make perfect sense. Gotta be perfectly perfect at making sense in this whole podcast. And if you don't understand this podcast, you don't make sense. So I think therapy. I was wondering if therapy is ruining my creativity because the SNL people are like non-linear thinkers, and I think they have to be to come up with all the content. I just miss being more incoherent because I wrote sketches more with my friend Jose. We did the SNL. We didn't. I didn't even know we were doing SNL type stuff, but we would just like write sketch after sketch in one session, and then decide which ones we want to keep. I think SNL they're writing 50 sketches a week and deciding on like 9 or 10 of them. But me and my friend Jose, we just write like maybe 2 or 3, and then decide which one we want to film that day. We were kind of doing it on a smaller scale, and I did it in Mesa Community College too. We would like improvise scenes and then write the remember which ones we liked, and then like improvise a scene and then write it down really quick what we liked, and then make it into an actual sketch and then put it on for like the whole college. That was so much fun. I've been doing the SNL thing. I just wish I was more incoherent. Maybe I should try weed again. This again, I talked about this last week. I go to bed at a decent hour. I should stop doing that. It's ruining my life. I've been getting a lot of BuzzFeed auditions. Is anyone else getting? Okay, I think for 2 years I've been getting like one BuzzFeed audition a year, and it's maybe the past year. It's always for like a cooking thing. I mean, it's not even a question. It's for a cooking thing, and I'm vegan, so I think that's why I'm not getting cast in it. Like, I don't care if I get cast in it, but I'm trying to figure out like how do I get on BuzzFeed without do I have to write an article and hope they accept it? It's always a cooking thing. And I eventually just asked the casting person, like, could I not, please don't have me go for cooking things anymore? Is there anything else I can go for? And then I got a different audition from another company. I may have been referred by BuzzFeed. It was for a company who they do videos for random companies like Earth Friendly Pest Control was one of the ones I got, some sort of Earth Friendly Pest Control. And they were saying in the audition, they're like, we want to film it in our studio of you like spraying the earth friendly pesticide. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do that. And then the next email was like, can you take a photo of your yard? Because we can film it there. And I'm like, wait, did AI respond to me? Because like you said you have a studio. But I took a photo of the front of my apartment and I go, it's just a driveway with like a tiny patch of grass on the side. Is that good enough? And they were like, we'll get back to you. That's the only thing that was like a non food thing. The BuzzFeed thing, though, I'm getting callbacks for whatever they send me. I keep getting callbacks. I even say, like, I hate guys, and they send me a callback. Because one of them was like, date the dish, and it's like a cooking dating thing. And I mean, I don't really want to date, so I told them that, and they're like, call back. I'm like, I don't really want to date, but yeah, I can make a vegan breakfast late night munch / late night munchy thing. And they're like, yeah. They even had me do the callback twice, the same callback twice, and they never responded after that. Like, what's up? My nephew butt dialed me. I meant to talk about this 2 or 3 episodes ago. My nephew has a phone, and he's 9. He's had one since he was 8, but he can only call like 5 people. I think it's a kid safe phone. I hope I didn't talk about this on a previous episode, but I was on my way to a comedy show and he called me and I answered and then it like disconnected and then I text him. I'm like, "Hey, are you okay? Like is something going on? Do you need me right now?" And then I said, You called me, so I'm just making sure you're okay." And then he's like, "No, April, I'm good. I didn't mean to call you." That's my voice for him. That is basically his voice. If he loses that voice, I'm going to die because he's going to turn 13. His voice is going to get deep, and I'm going to be like, no. But yeah, that was my nephew's first butt dial, and I'm putting it in his. I don't have a baby book, but if he had like a baby book, I would put it in there for him. I'd be like, first butt, like he's not a baby, but like his childhood milestones, like I would put that in there as like first butt dial, April 18th, 2025. I actually responded. I'm trying to be cool. I think I was trying to be cool. I just said like skibbity, it's okay. And he's like, okay. He's like, okay, thank you. I just used a random term. Skibbity toilet's bad. Don't like that's when something's terrible. He loves skibbity toilet. A lot of the slang that kids use, I used as a kid. It's just in a different form. And I'm sure Gen X can relate to like what millennials use. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, we use that too. We probably I bet millennials stole a lot of Gen X terms. And what were the boomers? The boomers slang was like, oh no, silent generation was like fag is a cigarette, or maybe that's just England. I don't know. Yeah, what was the slang of the boomers? I take everything from everyone. I don't share. I buy all the houses and I I live forever and suffocate the nation. That's their slang. That's theirs. I do things and blame it on the previous generation. What's slang for that? Hypocrite? Man, this podcast goes by so fast. Thank goodness. I was trying to start it earlier, but there was a guy weed eating outside. My walls, I was telling you guys on episode 1, the walls are so thin. You're going to hear everything outside. There's a guy opening the door of a restaurant over here in the alley, and there's a song by Modest Mouse called Paper Thin Walls, and I didn't understand the song until I moved to this apartment. Yeah, I didn't understand that song. And I think Modest Mouse was in Seattle, so are the walls of really thin there too? Dang. I'm just trying to like this is in my room. Okay. I'm hitting the tripod. Well, today I was going to answer some questions from maybe I'll do it next week. Next week I'm going to answer some deeper questions. We'll do it. I won't take notes this week. I'm just going to have these questions, answer them next week. A stand-up comedian answered some questions on Big Think's YouTube channel, and I want to answer them too. So I really want to. So I wrote them down. I'll make a note that it's for next week. I have a comedy show coming up in Los Angeles on June 11th. It's called Hot Dates. Bring someone. You can bring a stuffed animal if you don't have a date. I'm sure they'll let you. I don't have a show lined up for. I'm going to be in like the San Francisco area, dog sitting, June 1st through June 6th, and I might have a show at San Jose Improv. They're going to get back to me. I have to contact them again on Monday. We'll find out. I might be opening for somebody, but I've contacted Rooster T. Feathers. I've contacted Throckmorton's. If you guys know the email for Punchline, I think I found it. It was like norcalshows at livenation.com. But if you happen to know the email for Punchlines in San Francisco and Cobb's Comedy Club, let me know. I think I found it. I'm not sure. I got the old Judy Carter comedy book and she has the emails in there, but they're expired. And I contacted her. I was like, hey, I have like I have your Audible, your updated Audible book. I have the physical copy of your book, and the emails are expired for the comedy clubs. And she was like, "No, I can't give you those emails. Buy the book again." But I can't. I don't even know if the emails are in the book. I want to get to that point in my life where someone needs something, and I'm like, "Buy it, buy it." Okay, if you want that, buy another copy of my book, or buy another copy of whatever I have. So it's so giving. It's such loving kindness to do that. But she has boundaries. Like that's her boundary. Is you want something, you want an email, you got to get her book. I might just go to Barnes and Noble. Oh, I can go to Barnes and Noble and just look. I'll go to Barnes and Noble, see if it's in the book. Oh my god, April, you're a genius. That's why people spend hours at Barnes and Noble just reading the book so they don't have to buy it. I'm a genius. Or buy it on Amazon and return it. I could do that too. Well, guys, this has been episode 6. Really exciting, I know. Please subscribe if you've been listening. Like, definitely leave a comment if you've been listening to like every episode. I really want to know who's like a diehard listener of this podcast besides me. I listen to my podcast. It's the equivalent of wearing my own shirt, I think. Like, I'll be driving around LA just blasting my own podcast. And I'll have my window down and I look at people in the car and I'm like, that's me. Yeah, that's my voice. Hey, that's my voice. I do that with classical music too. Like, I was listening to Mozart today. I like listening to classical music and then guessing who it is. And then sometimes I'm right. It's great. So thank you for listening to watching this podcast. Oh, I just licked the microphone. Oh. Until next episode. Bye.